Look in the mirror and say namaste. Look in the mirror and say ashe. Look in the mirror and say peace reflections and all that cute shit y'all like to say. Send that energy to yourself. You need to learn to get the energies right within before you try and mingle with the energies outside of yourself. But here we go again with taking the focus off ourselves by putting the focus on everyone else. Self-sabotage. So look in the mirror and say those things. Because you're dealing with certain affirmations, certain mantras, dealing with certain things that represent energy or divine energy, transfer, different things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So when you understand that Ashe is a life force, Ashe is like chi. You know what I'm saying? You don't just give your chi to anybody. You don't just give your Ashe to anybody. The light that you see, look in the mirror and you see that light. See that light in yourself. See, that's the problem. People get distracted with always trying to look towards somebody else. What you see in them, what you don't see in them. It's not about them, it's about you. This is an individual experience. These are all characters in your movie. These are all characters in your game. They're all a part of your world. And vice versa. You are that and theirs. It's individual. So all of those different things, those little cute phrases, those cliches of what they've become cliches and just trending phrases that the so-called woke folks like to say. Come on, man. Learn what you're doing. Learn what you're talking about. Take that energy and direct that energy to the right place. Put it in the right direction. That needs to be going towards self. You know what I'm saying? You need to direct that energy within. Learn how to work those energies. Learn how to master those energies in motion before you go out trying to impose on to others. See, oftentimes people do that because they don't want to do the work they need to do for themselves. But it's inevitable. You got to do it. So you might as well just get the work done. Do your work for yourself. It's easier to do the work for yourself. It's easier to get you to do what needs to be done. Why stagnate yourself? Why distract yourself from putting that energy to someone else and trying to force them to get something done? Or to force them to do what they need to get done. Forcing them to be the best them that they can be. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of energy. It's energy that you can be putting into yourself and working yourself so you can achieve higher levels of mastery. It's all good to, want to look out for others and, want to assist people in their journey. But, you got to know when to give. You got to know when to take away. You got to learn when to put in. You got to learn when to pull out. You have to learn how to focus your energy. How to harness your energy. It's your energy. And if you're so quick to give it away, or if you're going to give it away, you need to know how to recharge that energy. How to replenish that energy. You need to know how to regenerate more energy or generate more energy. So if you don't know how to do that, then you definitely should be harnessing your energy and not being so quick to give it to others. See, some of you don't even have enough energy to try and give to others. That's why you're so exhausted, so tired. In those situations, you really, really need to work with yourself. And how to utilize that energy. How your body functions, and knowing how your body functions, and having the ability to be able to absorb that energy and transmit that energy, put that energy where it needs to go within yourself. Because if you're lacking energy in your vessel, you don't have energy to give. You know, if your gas tank is on E and you see someone on the side of the road and they're out of gas, they can't cipher any of your gas. You don't have any gas to give. I mean, unless you want to be stuck on the side of the road with them because you really don't want to travel and take the time it takes to travel and get to your destination. You know, if you're looking for a distraction or an excuse not to make it to the destination, something to take you off course, something to get you off your path. And that's exactly what happens a lot of times. You have a lot of people that are looking for a distraction, looking for an excuse, looking for a reason to get off the path, looking for a reason to stagnate themselves, to stagnate their journey. Why do that to yourself? Just focus. Do what you got to do. You know, you got to have confidence in yourself. You know, you have to know what your purpose is. And when you know what your purpose is, you know your drive, you're driven in a direction that takes you towards that purpose. But you can't run from it, especially when you know it. It's one thing when you don't know it and you just miss it, or you know you're not on the path to reaching that destination because you don't even know what your destination is, so you're not even on the road. But it's different when you know. You know, when you know, it means, you know, it's time to drive in that direction and get it done. But yeah, you got to learn how to keep your energy and how to, you know, work with your energy, how to balance your energy, how to distribute energy properly throughout your body before you try and run and give that energy to everybody else or to somebody else or to something else. Sometimes you may give something that you may not be able to give back. Why drain yourself to charge someone or something else? But those are also good practices, though. You know, it's good to get in the mirror, and you know that's when you say your mantras and your, you know, all of your I ams, and you know it's good to, you know, for meditation. You can use that as a focal point. You stare in the mirror, you know, maybe in a dark room, maybe with a candle lit off in the distance, and you stare, you know, dead at the center, you know, between your eyes, where your inner eye is at. You know, and zone off, zone out. That mirror is important. You know, that mirror, you know, that's where you shed. That's where you do your shedding at. You know, that's where you do your self-work at. You look in the mirror and that's where you talk to self. You know, mirror, mirror on the wall. You know, but it's good practices though. You know, that's also how you build confidence. You know, that's how you build you know, good self-esteem, different things like that. You know, look in that mirror and talk to yourself. You know, that's also how you communicate with the subconscious. You know, talk to yourself. They tell you that you're crazy for talking to yourself, but don't believe the hype. Don't believe everything you hear. You know, they tell you, some say it's okay to talk to yourself as long as yourself don't talk back. Well, if you're talking to yourself and you're asking yourself questions, you know, you should expect yourself to reply or to talk back. If you want to answer, you're not asking yourself a question to get no reply, to get no response, to get no answer. So no, it doesn't make you crazy. And now it may make you crazy when you're talking to something other than yourself, asking it for questions, expecting to get an answer from it, or when you don't realize that this thing that you're talking to or this thing that you're trying to communicate with is really just an aspect of yourself that's hidden or unknown to yourself. You know, ignorance is a hell of a thing. You know, ignorance does a lot to a person's psyche. You know, ignorance will keep you blind. You know, some are so blinded with ignorance they'll never see light. So blinded by ignorance they'll never obtain knowledge. Some don't want it, some don't know how to get it. Some get it and don't know what to do with it. That's why they say knowing is half the battle. The other half is application. Knowledge plus application equals power. You have the power. Harness your power. Learn how to generate your power. Learn how to build your power up. Learn how to work your power. But don't be so quick to give it to everything else. And do the knowledge on some of these things that you're saying. What they are, what they represent, what they truly are. These things aren't cute little catchphrases and cute little things to say and to throw around to make yourself feel good or to put a smile on somebody's face. You know, it's an art and it's a science to this thing. Know them both. And definitely know thyself.